Welcome back to the session. So today we are going to do the chapter number 3 of civics, which is India's defense system. Now let's revise. In the last chapter we studied India's foreign policy. We have now understood that the primary national interest of a country includes defense from foreign aggression and internal unrest and keeping the borders safe. Now we all know, right, that what is the main aim of the defense system, that they have to work for the welfare of the people, right? They have to make sure that the borders of India are safe and people inside are safe, and that is what they do, right? For this, every nation creates a defense system at the national level. India has also created such a system. In this chapter, we are going to understand its nature and study the challenges it faces. Okay, so India has also created a defense system. Now, what does a defense system do, students? It basically gives a protection to our country from all of its sides. Okay, कि हमारे country को protection देता है India's defense system. Defense मतलब क्या? To protect. So today in this chapter we are going to learn about India's defense system and what all challenges it faces, कि क्या क्या challenges जो defense system है उसको face करना पड़ता है. What is national security? Now what is national security? हम बोलते that defense system is being created for the security of nation, for people security. So what is it? The international system is made up of sovereign nations. Even if they cooperate with each other, sometimes there are conflicts between these sovereign nations. Right ना, कि हमारा international system जो है, जो main international system है, it is built of sovereign nations. What do you mean by sovereign, students? Sovereign means supreme nations. That international system includes all of the supreme nations, right? Now what happens sometimes that they do cooperate with each other, everyone cooperates with each other, but sometimes there are cases जहाँ पे there are conflicts between these nations, right? कि ये दो nations में या कोई भी nations के बीच में there are conflicts, छोटे बात के लिए थोड़ा झगड़ा या वैसा कुछ होता है, right? Not every time the relation between two countries is normal, so there are sometimes conflict between these countries, right? There are disputes between nations over boundaries, or sometimes conflict emerge between them over water sharing, right? That sometimes there is conflicts because of boundaries, जैसे हमारा इन पाकिस्तान के साथ है, right? Pakistan says that some part of Kashmir belongs to them, and that is how we have a conflict between them, right? Or sometimes it may occur because of water sharing, कि जैसे हमारा चाइना के साथ था, that there's this river जो हम दोनों share करते हैं, China as well as India, so that is why there was a conflict between them. So all of these conflicts can actually lead to a kind of aggression for a country towards another country. Some other reason for conflict should be not following the terms of international treaties, constantly competing against each other, and influx of refugees from neighbor country. Okay, तो ये एक दो reason पहले हम लोग ने देखा that why there could be a conflict because of boundary के भाई ये मेरा boundary है ये आपका boundary है. So because of boundary regions, sometimes it can be because of water sharing, right? What other reasons can be there because जिसके वजह से conflicts can takes place? तो another reason can be not following the international treaties, कि जो rule international treaties जो international group ने बनाया है, if you don't follow their rules, okay, then also there could be a conflict between two countries. Or if you are constantly competing one another, कि नहीं अगर ये इतना आगे जा रहा है तो मुझे उससे और आगे जाना है, तो when you are continuously you have that kind of competition between another country, at that time also conflicts can take place, or sometimes it is because of influx of refugees from neighboring countries. Now what do you mean by influx? Influx is entry of large number of people, that when large number of people come together, that is called as influx. And what is refugees? Refugees is safe from danger. Okay, कि जब इतने सारे लोग आ जाते हैं, and when there is a sign of danger, at that time also there could be conflicts amongst one another. Whenever such a conflict of interest arises between nations, it is sought to be resolved by compromises and discussions, right? So there are conflicts. अभी हम लोग ने देखे कि conflicts क्यों होते हैं, ये सारे reason के वजह से conflicts can take place, right? That boundary sharing, water sharing, or if you are competing with one another, all of these reasons are something why you have a conflict with one another. Okay, अब conflict होता है, ठीक है, how you solve them, though you can resolve it by compromises and discussion. You can compromise कि okay, if you are telling that yeah इतना part, if another country is saying that this much of part is this much of part belongs to me, then you have to compromise, and then you have to give that part to them. So sometimes you compromise, or sometimes you discuss that no baba, we know that this part belongs to us only, and then you have a discussion among them. So conflicts can be resolved ऐसे discussion करके या compromise करके conflicts ठीक हो सकते हैं. But when such efforts are not enough to resolve the conflict, a nation may even think of war. But सब चीज़ें हो रही है, but अगर सामने वाला nation मान ही नहीं रहा है, then there can be chances of war. When a nation attacks another and challenges the sovereignty of the latter, it endangers the security of the nation, right? When a nation is attacking someone, right, तो it is a threat for that country, right? कि वो country के जो लोग हैं उनकी security का एक बड़ा सा tension रह जाता है, right? That their security is being questioned. Such challenges are created due to military power of aggressive nations, right? Why are these challenges created? Because अगर सामने वाली country का military power strong है, and that country is an aggressive country, गुस्से वाली country, and if they have their military power, the base of military power is strong, then there could be a threat to another country, right? In any situation, a nation's first duty and responsibility is to keep the security system always well prepared and ready. Right now, that our country should always be well prepared कि किसी ने अटैक कर लिया, उसके बाद हम लोग को सोचना नहीं है that what we should do. We should be prepared that अगर country अटैक कर रही है तो हम क्या क्या करेंगे वैसा. So all of these things are something which needs to be fixed prior, right? ये सब चीज़ें पहले करनी पड़ती है. So all of these things, this is called as national security. So all of these things, when you keep practicing for the welfare of people inside the country, and when you are strong enough in military forces, and you are trying to make a peaceful environment and not a conflict with another country, all of these things is called as national security. National security मतलब क्या, कि पूरे nation का welfare होना चाहिए, पूरा nation should be secured, is called as national security. Okay, ways to safeguard national security. Now अभी हम लोग ने देखा कि national security क्या होती है. Now how could you safeguard it, that how can you protect it? So let us see that national security is closely connected with geography, because national security is more likely to be endangered by nations who are geographically closer, right? That national security mean तो कैसे चीज़ों से होता है. Most of the times what happens is that they attack our borders, or sometimes they hit the areas which are on the borders, right? तो geography से connected होती है, जो हमारा geographical structure होता है उससे connected होती है, right? And that is how they try to conflict us or try to bring conflicts among us, या तो हमें डराने की कोशिश करते हैं, right? Geographical base पे a nation must assess the threat to its geographical boundaries and the source of that threat. Okay, assess is ability, students. So a nation must have that ability to have a protection on the geographical boundaries, and they should know the source of that threat. ओके, थ्रेट मतलब क्या, डेंजर, जिससे वो लोग डर रहे हैं। शुड नो, सो दे शुड नो कि कौन सी कंट्री से हमें क्या थ्रेट है, ओके, एंड दे शुड नो द रीज़न और अ सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट थ्रेट. In order to keep this threat at bay, the nation has to increase its military might. The nation has to use modern technology to predict the threat, to build weapon systems and modernize and update the defense force, right? कि अभी हम लोग को अगर वो थ्रेट, वो जो डर है, उसको हम लोग से दूर रखना है, जो कंट्री है जो हमको शूट या जो भी करने वाली है, उनके डर से दूर रहना है, तो हम लोग क्या करना पड़ेगा, वी विल हैव टू मेक आवर मिलिट्री स्ट्रॉन्ग, कि जो हमारे मिलिट्री है उनको हम लोग को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना पड़ेगा. देन वी शुड हैव सच टेक्नोलॉजीज दैट वी शुड नो दैट ओके, वी शुड बी एबल टू प्रेडिक्ट कि अभी ये लोग ये कर रहे हैं, तो माइट बी दे वुड अटैक अस और समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो वी शुड हैव दैट प्रेडिक्शन in our mind that okay, what they will do, what that country will do. We should have such weapons so that we can build a strong weapon, right? We should have that systems जिससे हम लोग एक strong weapon बना सके. And then we should modernize and update the defense forces, okay, कि जो जो new instruments आए हैं for the defense of our country, like there are say different aircrafts or different guns, all of those things which could be beneficial for the security of country, so that should be updated. ऐसा नहीं कि सालों पुराना गन है या सालों पुराना एयरक्राफ्ट है एंड हम लोग उसके ऊपर ही रिलाई कर रहे हैं. नो, वी शुड ऑलवेज अपडेट एंड मॉडर्नाइज आर डिफेंस फोर्सेस. Resolving conflicts by taking resources to war in order to safeguard national security brings internal peace into danger. Okay, now what are they saying, that we should resolve conflicts by taking recourse to war in order to safeguard. that war एक option नहीं होना चाहिए. You should, how would you resolve conflict? So you can either do a discussion, or you can talk to them personally and have a word with them. So war should be the last option which you are choosing because there should be peace among the country, right? Because when the topic comes on war, the internal peace of the country is disturbed, the entire country is disturbed, the security is in danger, right? So war should be the last option which a person or which a country chooses. Hence, some nations try to get the support of other nations to manage the threat to their national security. But if the country is not getting improved just by a discussion or a topic, मतलब एक डिस्कशन के थ्रू अगर सामने वाली कंट्री नहीं मान रही है, एंड इफ़ यू एंड अप ऑन वॉर, देन व्हाट दैट कंट्री डज, इफ दे नो दैट आवर मिलिट्री पावर इज़ नॉट दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग, देन दे टेक हेल्प ऑफ अदर countries. Okay, they take help of other countries so that they could, वो एक जो दूसरे कंट्री से जिनसे वो वॉर करने वाले, उनका डर उनको ज़्यादा नहीं लगे. ओके, think and suggest. All countries are not at par with respect to military might. Okay, that not all countries have strong military forces, right? What needs to be done to implement a policy of armed control? Okay, so in such a situation, when they don't have a strong military power, what should they do? What should they implement for the policy of armed control? हम कंट्रोल करने के लिए, लाइक अगर मिलिट्री स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है, तो व्हाट दैट कंट्री कैन डू is something you have to think and you have to suggest. So this would be a homework. Student, you need to think that if a military power of a particular country is not strong, then what they can do for that, for their protection. Okay, उसके ऊपर भी एक क्वेश्चन है, Can you tell some examples of complementary and contradictory national interests in the context of India and our neighboring nations? That what are the example of complementary and contradictory national interests, that the one which are for the welfare of people of our country and what are against the welfare of our people. Okay, welfare for the people. Understood? Now coming to the next page. Yes, continuing with the second part on page number 73. Do you agree? Nations enter into armed races with other in an effort to increase their military might. Armed race leads to the further increase the sense of insecurity. Now what most of the time happens students कि अपने मिलिट्री को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाने के अलावा अपनी मिलिट्री को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाने के बदले व्हाट अदर कंट्रीज डू इज आर्म्स रेसेस में दे टेक पार्ट. ओके ना, व्हाट डू मीन बाय आर्म रेसेस? मतलब बेसिकली अपने आर्म्स जो अपने वेपन्स है उनको वो लोग स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाते हैं एंड ना कि अपनी मिलिट्री को. तो इन सच केसेस व्हाट हैपन्स इज इट लीड्स टू द इंक्रीज इन सेंस ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी, राइट? कि अगर मिलिट्री स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है, अगर मिलिट्री में इतना पावर नहीं है, तो आप उनको कोई भी वेपन दे दो, स्ट्रॉन्ग से स्ट्रॉन्ग एकदम A1 जो A क्लास वेपन होगा वो भी दे दो उनको, बट दैट इज़ ऑफ नो यूज़ if the military is not strong, right? So this sense of insecurity further increases the threats of national security. So in other hand, to avoid this danger, we need armed control, not an armed race. So in such cases, the military should be strong, the armed control should be strong, right? कि जो control है arms पे वो strong होना चाहिए, ना कि आप पे हाँ ठीक है अगर कोई अलग country आपके साथ compete कर रही है तो you also keep competing with them. Understood? Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Every nation should try to resolve international conflicts peacefully and by means of negotiations. For that, the dialogue and exchange between nations should increase. The more the interdependence between nations, more will peace and security be strengthened, right? That if a country needs to resolve the fights, there should be discussion. हम लोग ने पहले ही देखे ना कि if they discuss, then वो झगड़ा जो है वो टल सकता है. So now that discussion should take place, more and more of discussion should take place. Because of this, different platforms and mediums will be available for discussion and negotiation for the purpose of increasing international cooperation. Nations will try to avoid wars out of fear of economic losses, right? That they know, because if they create, अगर एक war, if a war is taking place, they know that there would be a loss of economic, because पैसा भी उतना जाता है, right? If you use such weapons, if you use such forces, so even there is loss of money. So they think ना, the people, the country think के rather if एक discussion होके बात avoid हो रहा है तो क्यों ना discussion करके उसको टाल ले. What message do you get from the above passage? Okay, so by reading this passage, what message do you get? How will the dialogue between the nation increase? Now we know if they have a talk between one another, the conflicts can be reduced. So how that discussion can be improved or increased? And what is the relationship between economic losses and war, as I explained you? So all of these three questions would be your homework, students. Okay, you need to think, and according to you, what do you think how these conflicts can be improved is something you have to write. India's security system. Now जो सिक्योरिटी सिस्टम है उसके ऊपर हम लोग बात करते हैं. India's security system includes Army, Navy and Air Force, the three forces that defend the country, right? These are the three forces जिनके वजह से आज हम लोग आराम से शांति से घर पे बैठ पा रहे, because they are doing their job, they are working hard so that they can provide the protection to our country and protection to the people of our country, and because of them we are happily staying at our homes today. So which are the three forces, which are the three security system, students? The first one is army. Okay, army कौन सा होता है? जो बाउंड्रीज पे होते, जो बॉर्डर्स पे होते हैं उनको बोलते हैं आर्मी. The second one is navy. Now navy is the one which protects the sea side, जो sea के जो वाटर बॉडीज़ का जो प्रोटेक्शन रहता है वो नेवी देखती है. एंड एयर फोर्सेस के ऊपर से अगर कोई अटैक कर रहा है तो जो एयर फोर्सेस है दैट लुक्स अपॉन द एयर वर्क. ओके, These are the three forces that takes place of the defense of our country. The responsibility of protecting the geographical boundaries is on the army. As I said you that army क्या करती है, जो borders है, जो boundaries है, उसका protection करती है. Whereas the navy protects the कोस्ट लाइन. मैंने पहले बोला जो सी है, जो वाटर बॉडीज़ का पार्ट है, जो कोस्ट लाइन का पार्ट है, दैट इज़ प्रोटेक्टेड बाय नेवी. एंड द एयर फोर्स इज़ इन चार्ज ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग इंडियाज़ एयर स्पेस. दैट प्रोटेक्टिंग द एयर स्पेस के ऊपर से कोई अटैक ना करे, दैट वर्क इज़ ऑफ एयर फोर्स. The Ministry of Defense control all three forces. Okay, the defense minister है ना, every time everyone is being appointed as finance minister, defense minister. So the one who's defense minister, he or she has to control all of these three forces. The Indian Army is very big. जो हमारी Indian Army है, जो the one who works on border, it is very big. It is the world's 7th largest. Okay, that our army is the world's 7th largest when it comes to how powerful and how big it is. Its chief is known as general. Okay, कि जो आर्मी होते हैं उनके जो चीफ होते हैं उनको क्या बोलते हैं, जनरल बोलते हैं. द चीफ ऑफ नेवी इज़ नोन एज एडमायरल. ओके, कि जो नेवी के चीफ है उसको एडमायरल बोलते हैं. The chief of army is said to be general, and the chief of air force is known as air chief marshal. Okay, and the one who's the head or the chief of air force is known as air chief marshal. These three chiefs are appointed by the president. Okay, so all of these chief or the head of three departments, which is Army, Navy and Air Force, all of these are being appointed by President. The President is the one who appoints them. Okay, find out so as to understand more. What is a military regime? Does democracy exist in such regimes? Okay, now what do you mean by military regimes? You have to find it out. Okay, you can even Google it, or ask your parents or something like that. Does democracy exist in such regimes, and do democracy takes place in that particular area? You have to find it out. The President of India is the supreme commander of the defense forces. The defense forces cannot take any decision about war or peace without the consent of the President, because the nature represents the civil power, right? कि जो प्रेसिडेंट है उन्होंने ये तीन है, जो मिलिट्री है, एयर फोर्स है और नेवी है, उनके चीफ को अपॉइंट किया है. And he is the supreme commander of the defense forces. कि उनके ऑर्डर के बिना all of these three what committees, all of these three defense system cannot do anything. Okay, because the president is the one who represents civil power. Now what do you mean by civil power, students? Civil power is the collective power of people. कि पूरा president के हाथ में होता है, right? So without his order, these three defense forces cannot do anything. In a democracy, civil leadership is considered superior to military leadership. Many measures are taken so that all three defense forces in India's security system are adequately modernized. That there are many things or many measures are taking place so that our army, all of these three, army, navy and air force, are modernized. कि जो new equipments available है वो हमारे पास भी होनी चाहिए for the protection of our country. So always efforts are being made that our country is, our country has all sorts of equipment. Okay, it is modernized. For this, some research institute have been set up. Many training institutes have also been set up in our country to train the personnel of all ranks of our defense forces so that they can perform the tasks completely. Okay, so to carry out all of these research institutions have been made. Okay, that research institutions have been made जहाँ पे the people are being trained, okay, to go into defense forces if they have been given a proper ट्रेनिंग, ओके, कि उनका डिफेंस स्ट्रॉन्ग हो, दे कैन परफॉर्म वेरियस टास्क. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल the National Defense Academy, which is NDA at Pune, and the National Defense College, which is NDC at Delhi. So there are two options के एक तो पुणे में है और एक दिल्ली में है. पुणे में NDA है and दिल्ली में NDC है. All of these two मतलब these two are the institutes which are being a training institutes, okay, for the defense system. Parliamentary forces. Now, what do you mean by parliamentary forces, students? There are parliamentary forces to help the defense forces in India. They are neither completely military forces. Okay, the parliamentary forces, they are neither completely military forces nor completely civil forces. Hence, they are called as parliamentary forces. Okay, paramilitary, oh, so sorry guys, it is paramilitary, I'm so sorry. Paramilitary forces. Now these are there are paramilitary forces to help the defense forces. Now these paramilitary forces, they are not military forces, ना ही वो military forces है, ना ही वो लोग civil forces है. ओके, तो वो लोग कौन है? Let us see. Their main task is to help the defense forces, the border security forces, coast guard, central reserve police forces, rapid action forces are some of paramilitary forces. Okay, so these paramilitary forces, they are neither military forces nor they are civil forces, so their work is to help our defense systems. Okay, they have to help our defense systems. Now what are the parts of paramilitary forces? So some are border security force, के जो border पे सिक्योरिटी फोर्स है वो एक पार्ट है पैरामिलिट्री का. देन कोस्ट गार्ड, सेंट्रल रिसोर्स पुलिस, फायर, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्सेस, ऑल ऑफ दीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस. वी विल सी इन फर्दर chapter or further session what does they mean. The paramilitary forces are responsible for the security of important locations like railway station, oil deposits, oil depots, water reserves, etc. So what do this paramilitary force do? They give us protection at which places like railway stations पे हो गया, oil deposits पे हो गया, water reserves पे हो गया. तो यहाँ पे जो protection दी जाती है that is because of paramilitary forces. Similarly, they play a role in management of disasters, whether natural or man-made. Okay, so जो management किसका, they are the management of disaster, कि अगर कोई natural डिज़ास्टर आ गया या तो कोई मैन मेड डिज़ास्टर आ गया तो उसमें जो प्रोटेक्शन दी जाती है वो भी पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस के अंडर आती है. द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग द कंट्रीज इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर ड्यूरिंग पीस टाइम ऑल्सो रेस्ट विद पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस. ओके, दैट जो पीस टाइम होता है उस टाइम पे बॉर्डर्स को प्रोटेक्शन देने का काम भी पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस का होता है. The border security force performs tasks like creating a sense of security in the minds of people living in areas near the border, preventing smuggling, patrolling the border, etc. अभी हम लोग ने ऊपर ही देखा पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस के पैराग्राफ में कि कौन कौन से पार्ट है. बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स, कोस्ट गार्ड, सेंट्रल रिजर्व पुलिस फोर्स एंड रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स. तो उसमें से फर्स्ट वन क्या है? बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स. सो व्हाट डज बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स डू? It performs borders. The task like creating a sense of security, okay, जो borders पे रह रहे हैं उनको make sure करना कि no, you are being secured, we are giving you proper security. Then preventing smuggling, कि जो smuggling होता है border areas पे उनको रोकना है. And पेट्रोलिंग द बॉर्डर, के कंटिन्यूस बॉर्डर को प्रोटेक्ट करना है. दिस इज़ द वर्क ऑफ बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स. नाउ द सेकेंड वन इज कोस्ट गार्ड फोर्स. Now what is Coast Guard? They have been created to protect India's oceanic borders. कि जो ocean borders, जो water bodies का part है इंडिया का, जो ओशियनिक बॉर्डर्स है, दैट इज़ अंडर द कोस्ट गार्ड. द कोस्ट गार्ड कैरीज आउट टास्क लाइक प्रोटेक्टिंग द फिशिंग ऑक्यूपेशन विद इन इंडियन मैरीटाइम बॉर्डर्स, प्रिवेंटिंग स्मगलिंग अलॉन्ग सी रूट्स, के जो सी पे जो भी वर्क होता है, लाइक जो फिशिंग ऑक्यूपेशन हो रहा है तो उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम ना है, वो फिशिंग ऑक्यूपेशन को प्रोटेक्ट करना इज़ अंडर Coast Guard. Also they make sure that there is no kind of smuggling taking place along the sea routes. Coming towards next, the Central Reserve Police Force. Now what does the Central Reserve Police Force do? It helps the administration in various states to maintain law and order. As the name suggests, the Central Reserve Police, that it makes sure to give to maintain the laws and orders at state level. The rapid action force, as per the name suggests, the rapid action कि कोई भी problem आया तो that particular committee should be fast enough to take decisions, perform the task of bringing people life to normalcy by moving in quickly in incidents of threat to national security such as bomb blast or riots. Okay, कि जब bomb blast या riots होते हैं या कोई भी ऐसा crisis इंडिया पे आता है तो वहाँ के लोगों को प्रोटेक्शन दिलाना. नाउ इफ यू आर सीइंग दैट अ पर्सन इज़, इफ इन केस सपोज वो उसका अटैक हुआ है, कोई भी अटैक में, टेररिस्ट अटैक में या कोई भी, तो उसका क्या करना है आगे वो पर्सन का. तो देयर शुड बी दैट क्वालिटी कि एक रैपिड एक्शन लेने का जो क्वालिटी है, जो काम है, वो इन लोगों का है. दैट दे have the power to do quick decisions or to make quick decisions. And last but not the least, the National Cadet Corps, which is NCC, has been established with the purpose of instilling among students the love of discipline and military training. Okay, so NCC is created so that the youth and young children has the power, okay, that they understand the importance of military training, and if there are certain people who want to join them, can be a part of it. Boy and girl student from school and colleges can join the NCC. So any of them who are interested to take part in all of these things, which includes military and security of nation, they can take part in this NCC. Home Guard. Now what do you mean by Home Guard? This organization was established in the pre-independence period. Citizens can join the Home Guard and assist in the defense of the country. Any citizen, man or woman between the ages of 20 to 35 years can join the Home Guard. Now what is Home Guard, students? That it is basically something which works or which is under the defense of the country. कि उसका काम क्या है कि असिस्ट कर सकते हैं वो लोग डिफेंस ऑफ आवर कंट्री. जो डिफेंस का जो काम होता है ना, उसमें असिस्ट करने का काम they can do. Okay, so which age group वाला period is allowed? From 20 to 35 years. The person between 20 to 35, anyone, sorry, it can be like man, woman, or any citizen who is willing to take part in this can be a part of it. Okay, but the eligibility criteria is कि उसका age 20 to 35 years का होना चाहिए. This force has the following task. Now what is the task of this force? They have to maintain public security, कि public का security का maintenance उनको मतलब उनको maintain करना, that they have to provide security to public. Supply of milk, water and other essential services during riots or strikes, to regulate traffic, to help people at the time of natural disasters like flood, earthquake, etc. तो हम लोग ने ऊपर देखा, they have to be, they have to assist in defense of system. So what all things they have to do, and they have to make sure that the security of public is being maintained. Another thing is they have to make sure that ट्रैफिक रेगुलेट अच्छे से हो रहा है. देन पीपल, जो लोग ने उनको सप्लाई ऑफ मिल्क करना है. इफ देर आर टाइम्स व्हेन देर इज़ अ सीवियर राइट्स और स्ट्राइक, या they are not getting proper essential services, so at that time providing milk to them is their job. Again, to help people at the time of natural disaster, कि कोई भी natural disaster आता है तो लोगों को मदद करने का काम किसका है? होम गार्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का. Now challenges to Indian society. Now we all have seen in this chapter के डिफेंस सिस्टम क्या है, हाउ डज इट वर्क, कितने टाइप्स है उसमें. Now what all are the challenges which India's security faces? Right from the time of independence, Pakistan and China have tried to threaten India's national security. Okay, why Pakistan? Because Pakistan को लगता है कि जम्मू उनका पार्ट है, and China क्यों students? Because एक नदी है जो चाइना भी यूज़ करती है, हम लोग भी यूज़ करते हैं. So that is why there has always been conflict between India and Pakistan and China. Okay, there are several disputes between India and Pakistan. For example, the Kashmir issue, dispute over river water sharing, the problem of infiltrations, dispute over the borders, etc. Infiltrations, what do you mean by infiltration, students? Infiltration is access to an organization, कि वो प्लेस का एक्सेस, परमिशन हम लोग को मिल जाए. तो वही वो लोग बोल रहे हैं कि इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान के तो हमारे बहुत सारे इश्यूज़ है. जैसे कि मैंने एक बोला, द कश्मीर इशू. द अनदर वन इज़ दे थिंक दैट देर आर डिस्प्यूट्स बिटवीन द बॉर्डर्स, के बॉर्डर्स भी कोई उनको लगता है कि वो उनकी है. तो दैट इज़ वाई अगेन डिस्प्यूट होता है, या झगड़ा होता है वैसा. You will study. India has continuously tried to solve this issue through discussion and negotiation. So we have always tried कि भाई war के पहले अगर discussion पे ही बात हो जा रही है, and if we are coming to a conclusion, then it's well enough, right? India and China are important countries in Asia. In 1962, we had to go to a war with China, as China is trying to create its own hegemony over countries that are India's neighbor. There are tensions in Sino-Indian relations. Okay, so now China के साथ हमारा क्या problem है? That is, China is trying to establish its own hegemony. What do you mean by hegemony, students? That its own supreme over countries. Okay, hegemony मतलब क्या? That control. उनको क्या चाहिए कि हमारा कंट्रोल हो बाकी कंट्रीज़ पे जो इंडिया के नेबर्स है. सो देर आर टेंशंस इन सिनो इंडियन रिलेशन. सिनो इज़ चाइना, तो जो इंडिया चाइना का रिलेशन है उसमें भी वापस प्रॉब्लम था. अभी तो वी हैव टोटल प्रॉब्लम्स, बट बिफोर ऑल्सो एक ऐसा प्रॉब्लम था. There is also a dispute between India and China over their borders, के borders को लेके भी झगड़ा होता है. India's security is not only threatened by outside powers but also from within. कि ये तो सब बाहर की कंट्रीज़ है जिसके वजह से प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, बट समटाइम्स देर आर सर्टन केसेस जिसके इंटरनल मतलब अंदर के वजह से ही हम लोग को प्रॉब्लम होता है. It is not just the difference between external security and internal security that is important anymore. Religion, regionalism, several rebellious movements based on ideology, race, ethnicity, and economic inequality are creating instability. Okay, तो क्या हो रहा है student कि because of all these factors, religion हो गया, regionalism हो गया, all of these factors are just creating instability. For example, the Naxalite movement is a threat to India's internal security. Now what was Naxalite movement student? उसमें वैसा था that there were people of communist party. Okay, communist party के there were people and then they wanted to be they wanted to rule that particular place and फिर ऐसा सब हुआ. Terrorism is the biggest challenge to India's internal security. It is a global problem and India is making efforts to end terrorism. Okay, what they are saying that India's internal security जो अंदर की security है वो भी खतरे में है, वो भी problem में है. Okay, and that India is trying the best hard to solve all of these problems. Human security. In the post-Cold War period, the concept of national security changed and became broader. National security is not just the security of the country but also of the people living in it, because security is ultimately for people, right? कि अब क्या हो गया था that after all of these wars के जो छोटे छोटे disputes होते रहते थे between China, between Pakistan and India, the concept of security was now broader. Why? Because national security क्या है students? Yeah, it is definitely the security of the country, but also at the same time it is the security of people residing in that country, right? कि अगर हम लोग सिर्फ country का protection कर रहे हैं बराबर, पर अंदर के लोगों को problem हो रहा है तो there is no use, right? So what is national security? के country should also get protected as well as the people living in it also get protected, because मेन क्या है, हम लोग को अंदर जो लोग रह रहे हैं उनको ही प्रोटेक्ट करना है, राइट? Hence, human security refers to human-centered thinking. In human security, it is expected that human beings should be protected from all wars or all sorts of danger, and they should be given the opportunity of education, health and development, right? So now over here, human security refers to human-centered thinking. ओके, मतलब क्या बोलना चाह रहे, बिकॉज दैट ऑल ह्यूमन बींग्स कि ऑल ऑफ द पीपल रिसाइडिंग इन दिस कंट्री शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ डेंजर, राइट? कि आपका टाइम वो लोग अगर वो डर में रहेंगे कि अभी क्या होगा तो दे वोंट बी एबल टू लिव देयर लाइफ. सो दैट इज़ वाई दे आर सेइंग दैट पीपल शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ डेंजर, दैट पीपल रिसाइडिंग इन दैट कंट्री दे शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ डेंजर एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू देम लाइक एजुकेशन हो गया, हेल्थ, डेवलपमेंट, ऑल ऑफ दीज facilities should be provided to them so that they are being given facilities as well as at the same time they are being protected. The concept of human security also includes the idea that a conducive environment should be created for everybody to live a respectable life by overcoming illiteracy, poverty, superstitions, backwardness, etc. Human security necessitates the protection of right of minorities and weaker section, right? कि हम लोग ने पहले ऊपर देखा that all of these facilities like education, health, development, all of these should be provided to people residing in that country, and at the same time they should be free from all of these concepts like illiteracy, poverty, superstition. Basically human security, what does that means? That every human have the right, what is the right एवरी ह्यूमन हैज़ द राइट कि उनको एक प्रोटेक्शन मिलना चाहिए. एवरी वन शुड गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी to live all of these rights, and especially the weaker sections, they are being avoided कि उनके ऊपर ज़्यादा ध्यान दिया नहीं जाता है. तो at the same time weaker section should also be considered, and all of these facilities should be provided to them. It should be a conducive environment. What do you mean by conducive environment, student? That everyone is having all of the rights and everyone is enjoying their rights and making proper use of it. Now we have seen what is human security. Okay, now what are the challenges human security faces? Let us see that. The biggest challenge to human security is that of terrorism. Terrorist targets common innocent people, right? The main fear is always of terrorism, though army is protecting at the borders, but everyone is always afraid of terrorism. Why? Because जो terrorist होते हैं they target common and innocent people, कि जो जिनका बेचारों का किसका हाथ भी नहीं होता है, they are being targeted and they are being killed for their dirty purpose. It aims at creating terror or fear in their minds so that they begin to feel insecure. Thus, in order to protect human security, it is necessary to put an end to terrorism. Now, what do? First, they target innocent and simple people, common people, and then they put fear in them. एक डर बिठा देते हैं उनमें, टेररिस्ट का डर बिठा देते हैं, so that उनको फिर इनसिक्योरिटी फील होने लगे, that they feel that okay, we are not secured over here, and then they become, एक डर लगता है, क्या बोलते हैं कि वो लोग डर जाते हैं, उनके मन में क्या डर बिठा देते हैं टेररिज्म. सो all of these things should be stopped and people should be protected. Thus, in order to protect human security, it is necessary to put an end of terrorism. So once terrorism is over and there is an end to terrorism, then definitely human security का एक पार्ट जो बड़ा सा डर होता है ना, वो क्लियर हो जाएगा. ओके, डिस्कस. डू यू थिंक दैट ओनली अ डेमोक्रेटिक फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट कैन मेंटेन ह्यूमन सिक्योरिटी? नाउ डू यू ऑल थिंक दैट खाली एक डेमोक्रेटिक फॉर्म हो गया कि देर इज़ नो सोल्जर्स या देर इज़ नो आर्मी, जस्ट अ प्रॉपर डेमोक्रेटिक फॉर्म कैन प्रोटेक्ट द सोसाइटी, कि उतना ही काफ़ी है फॉर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ पीपल? व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स? You have to write it down. Which points will you present in a discussion? So हम लोग ने देखा that if you want to stop conflicts between two countries, you should have a proper discussion with them. So if you get a chance to have that discussion, what all points will you include in that discussion? So you have to think about it and then write it. What efforts could be made at the level of the family for ensuring human security? Okay, that what efforts could be made एक level of family पे, एक family level पे what all securities can be made so that ह्यूमन सिक्योरिटी उनको मिल रहा है. एक फैमिली लेवल पे what all things you can do और what all efforts you can put up. ओके, जो ह्यूमन सिक्योरिटी है वो कम्प्लीटली इट डील्स विद एंटायर कंट्री का प्रोटेक्शन, राइट? तो एट द बेसिस ऑफ फैमिली लेवल व्हाट ऑल फैसिलिटीज़ यू कैन प्रोवाइड? All these 3 questions, students, try solving it and this would be your homework. According to you, what do you think? You have to write it down. सेकेंड, एक पॉइंट हम लोग ने देखा दैट द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज ह्यूमन सिक्योरिटी फेसेस इज टेररिज्म, बिकॉज वी द आर्मी, द सोल्जर्स हैव ऑलवेज, एक वो लोग अलर्ट रहते हैं, बिकॉज टेररिस्ट कैसा है कि बोल के नहीं अटैक करते, दे कैन अटैक एनी टाइम रैंडमली. सो द people, the borders, the army at the borders or the navy, the air force, they all are always alert कि कभी भी इनका अटैक हो सकता है. So terrorism was the first challenge which is being faced when there is topic of human security. Now what is second problem which all of us face जब ह्यूमन सिक्योरिटी की बात आती है? Pollution and other changes in the environment have threatened human life. Diseases like AIDS, chikungunya, swine flu, Ebola have presented a big challenge. Protecting human rights from such disease is also considered to a factor of human security. Now, pollution is increasing day by day, and because of which various kinds of diseases are being formed. Diseases like AIDS, chikungunya, swine flu, Ebola. All of these diseases are thus very harmful for human beings, right? And that is how the factor of human security is being disturbed, right? Human security is again a problem when it comes to all of these disease, right? Usme you never know that a person would be, would survive or not. So the second problem which human security faces is pollution. The disease which is being caused because of pollution. Okay, so this would be the second cause or the second challenge which all of us faces, right? What do you think? Increasing violence in society is endangering human security. What kind of peace process should be created to prevent violence from growing, right? That जितना violence होगा country में उतना ही human security को problem होगा, उतना ही threat होगा human security को, right? Because if there is violence, गुंडागर्दी है या मारामारी है, तो it is definitely sure that any person would get hurt or can be hospitalized or something like that. So this kind of violence would always lead to endangering human security. It would again be a problem for human security. So what kind of peace process should be created to prevent violence from growing? So what all things can we do so that all of these violence can stop, or what all facilities government can provide so that all of this violence is being stopped? Okay, so again this is your homework, student. Just think, what do you think, what are your points? आपको क्या लगता है कि ओके अगर गवर्नमेंट ने कोई हार्ड कोड रूल लाया कि अगर वायलेंस हुआ कहाँ पे तो यू वुड हैव टू पे अ पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट और समथिंग लाइक दैट, तो एटलीस्ट वो डर से लोग वायलेंस नहीं करेंगे. तो एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग विच गोज इन टू योर माइंड, व्हाट डू यू थिंक is something you have to write in this answer. Okay, so this would again be your homework. Now coming to the last part, in this chapter we have studied India's defense system, right? We got to know about India's defense system, what are the types, what are the challenges they faces, right? We have also tried to understand the change in the concept of security from national security to human security, that there is change, right? कि एक security क्या है वो हम लोग ने देखा, एक personal level पे human security क्या है, and what is nation security, and what are the factors which depends on them, and who gives us the protection. Everything we have studied in this chapter. In the next chapter we shall study the United Nations as international organization. Okay, that आज हम लोग ने देखा the defense system of India. Next time we are going to study about United Nations as how it is an organization. Okay, we shall understand what effort it makes to ensure human security. Now next chapter we will see how United Nations make sure to provide human security to their country. Okay students, I hope you have understood the chapter human security, the challenges it face, the defense system, what all types are included in the defense system, what all challenges do they face, what are the facilities provided by government. Okay, so yeah, that was it for today's chapter, students. Now coming to the next part, so students, coming towards the exercise section, first is filling the blanks, then true or false, short notes, explain and brief. So all of these questions in exercise would be your homework. Okay, you have to write all of these questions and then submit it to your respective teacher. So yeah students, that was it for today's session. We'll meet you all in the next session. Till then, bye bye and take care. Bye.